difficult to play properly, very hard to master. Is that a Noxus Bandle City Mono Fizz?
That is what that looks like, Boulevard.
And this looks like Bandle
wait,
Tree.
Poppy.
Wait, is this
Teemo? Is this Triple Tree?
Is this Triple Tree?
Is this it?
I need to take a little gander at what that third deck is.
That is okay. It's not. It's Zoinami. Okay, so only Double Tree. Double Tree. And I don't mean the Hilton Hotel.
You're so funny, Doza.
I try. That's only my first pun of the day. We had two puns yesterday. I'm keeping pun count. All right. I'm off the notepad over here.
I'm keeping tree count. Oh, do I have to keep tree count for 2 players at once? It's gonna be hard. Luckily, Alan's not gonna make me do that.
Why is he tracking? He's gonna hover. He's gonna hover every single time, right?
Well, no, because Alan's not playing tree.
Oh, okay.
I'm now realizing that like a tree mirror is almost inevitable, and I'm going to have to keep track of that. If you're wondering why JDoza sounds like he just rolled out of bed, it's because he did.
Well, my voice, in my defense, my voice is also shot because of my actual day job. I also present and train. Nobody
cares about your day job right now, bud. You're casting, all right? You're on your casting.
My voice is my moneymaker, okay? And I've been using it a lot lately. So
I cannot believe that with those set of lungs, you've made it this far in life. How did you get up here with me? You know who I am, right?
I don't know how I get stuck with you, to be honest. I've asked myself this question every day, and I can never seem to find a good solid answer here. So.
All right, so we've actually banned the Fizz tree deck, saying that the House Spider, the Phlox, the Scorched Earth, that usual package is not something that we want to be dealing with, and we're going to get to see some Sivir Auction action right away. I know this is what everybody was really excited to see. They said, oh my god, Worlds, I can't wait to see Sivir Auction. And then they nerfed Sivir Auction. They were like, no, Riot, why would you do this? And then Alanzq, the hero of the people, still playing Sivir Auction just for you guys.
I wouldn't go that far. Hero of the people.
Hero of the people bringing Sivir Auction for you.
I'm going to firmly disagree with that.
Said, we don't want Sivir Auction on Worlds, and Alan brought it anyway. It's fun.
Oh, this is one of those decks that I'm not gonna lie, I am, I don't get super excited when I see it nowadays, but I do get excited for Bandle Tree still because it's a new deck, it's awesome, new region. So let's see if Bandle Tree is able to pick up another victory here. And Teemo to start things off. Maybe we get a Shroom victory. Is that a little too early to call it here, Boulevard?
Okay, you know what? I don't want to hear anything about you out of Shroom victories and things like that. What is that card? That card's just Bandle City, right? And it makes an Ionia guy?
Yeah, it makes the little birdie.
All right. So we're on 2.
Yeah, so.
I didn't expect us to get on board so quickly with all of these different regions. I'm manually tracking it, and I will do my best. But
so that is
like we're about to be.
That is Bandle Commando. And Bandle Commando, when Nexus striking, it makes a Hungry Owl Cat, which is a Fae 1 mana 2/1 with Spell Shield.
Thank you. I didn't ask for all that.
I got you.
I knew some of that. I knew an amount.
You know,
but Alan's looking like they sort of have a near ideal hand, right? Obviously, you want a Ruin Runner. That'll make everything a lot better, especially when we're talking about how you're going to chew through this Bandle City board, because that's kind of. We've seen decks have this kind of success in the past, specifically against Demacia decks, where if you just gum up the board, it's really difficult for your opponent to get around that outside of firing off opportune rallies, which Alan does have, but he doesn't have a wide enough board to make use of that rally just yet.
Yeah, and all right, listen, I'm not gonna lie. Poro Sled doing some work in Worlds, okay? We saw this card, I think it was nabbed, if I remember correctly. We saw this card nabbed in the Asia SEA qualifiers earlier this morning. Man, there's something to be said about a 5/5 that generates an additional unit. You know, the additional unit might not be super impactful because it's generally just going to be a 1/1. But this is, it's putting in work, and it's hard to deal with. I mean, you look at something like the Sivir, that we have on board, even with the Sharp Sight. This is a great chump blocker. This is something that is basically stuffing any Sivir attacks, and it's going to make it really difficult for Alan to put on some sort of offensive here early on in the game. And, this deck at some point, Alan's going to need to be the aggressor, is going to need to go in with things like Ruin Runner and Sivir. And if there's larger units like this Poro Sled on field, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, I wonder if Alan is going to be tempted to use the Shapestone to take out this Poro Sled with the Valkyrian Vagabond. Now, the only reason I really said that sentence is because I wanted to show off that I remember the name of Vakirian Vagabond, and I want you all to keep that in mind when I stumble over the name of every Bandle City card for the remainder of the day.
Are
Just
you?
remember that I knew Vakirian Vagabond.
How confident are on the pronunciation of Vicarian?
Oh, 0%. Not a question.
All right, so we're actually gonna get rid of. Okay, I don't mind that. You know, this Bandle Commando. One of the issues that you have with this deck, and you can also see, which as I look up this card name as well, because I forget the name of the other Yordle on field, Bandle City Mayor, that's the one. So Bandle City Mayor, I think, is a pretty high priority target when you're going up against this deck as well. You kind of have to stuff their ability to go wide and get a lot of units down quick. And yeah, we can see this Merciless Hunter on the side of Alan going right after that Bandle City Mayor. So I think this is Alan's strategy right now is, okay, anything that's going to generate these additional units that allow, you know, 101 to go wide and have these additional blockers, we need to get those off the board, but they're just going to keep coming, Boulevard. I don't know if Alanzq has the tools to get rid of them fast enough.
Probably not. And one thing that I do want to call out is the Merciless Hunter nerf is actually pretty impactful in this matchup because now it's vulnerable to group shot.
And look at it can't even pull this Bandle City Mayor technically, right? I mean, obviously you want to use something like the quick attack on Sivir, which I imagine is what Alanzq is going to grab here. Yep. So, but yeah, so I agree. I mean, I love these nerfs though, right? This is a long time coming. I think Merciless Hunter as a 4/2, giving vulnerable, still super good. Still one of the, you know, better cards in the game. But definitely an impactful change here. We are just going to get the trade onto Bandle City Mayor, and this is not good. I mean, it's good that we're getting rid of the Bandle City Mayor, don't get me wrong. But
yeah,
just going in for one attack with Sivir cannot feel good for Alan right now.
Yeah, you do not want to leave those mares on field and give 101, 103 the opportunity to just throw down multi-region units. Like this telescope would have been 0 mana. And because most of the multi-region units are creating additional units, your opponent's just going to sit there with like their hand size is not going to change. Their board size is not going to change no matter how many units you kill. And I think at this point, 101 and 101 is actually really close to the Bandle Tree win con. I think we're missing 4 regions at the moment.
Boulevard, you're going to lose your voice if you keep trying to say 101 every time you refer to it. Thought we agreed on 101. Just 101. Oh, wow. I just confused myself.
There's a 3 at the end. How dare you?
Yeah, plus this a 3.
101 does currently seem to be sitting at, by my math, 7 regions.
Wow. That was quick. And
yeah, it happens very quickly. It's difficult to deal with these Bandle Tree decks.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen it. I mean, Bandle Tree, so strong. So. And you know what's crazy? So because when I first saw that card released, I was thinking just off the top of my head, okay, you play that. I think it's 5 cost, right? So you play it on turn 5. It takes, you know, maybe a few more turns to get more regions under your belt. But because it's counting all the way up until turn 5, if you are getting all these smaller, low-cost units with, you know, various regions, by the time turn, 7 rolls around, you can potentially just drop. You can drop the tree, and it's just, already at 9 or 10, and it's just going to win you the game. It's a lot faster than I had originally anticipated that this card was going to win.
I did not anticipate the Teemo leveling up. Why is Teemo leveled up every time we've seen him hit the board?
So, all right. Yes, we saw this with Asia SEA as well. Yeah. I think it's because it's actually a low priority target at first. Yeah,
it is. But once Teemo levels, it's actually really threatening.
Yeah.
You don't want to try and play the long game against 30 shrooms in your deck.
And I love this Cataclysm, right? This is, you see Poppy, Poppy is the Twisted Fate treatment, right? We've talked about this before, the old school Twisted Fate, where Twisted Fate comes down, you can't let him draw more cards, you got to get him off the board. Poppy absolutely cannot be allowed to attack and grant the entire field +1/+1 when you have this wide of a board.
So, one tech that I do want to call out here is the Absolver in Alan's hand. That is actually a really critical tool for pushing through this board. And honestly, Alan might have lethal this turn.
Yep.
You go in for a big attack, you're going to be able to level the Sivir. You are then going to be able to rally, have everything get overwhelmed because the Sivir is leveled. Guess what? That gives you access to the Absolver's return. We've got exactly 8 mana. If everything shakes out how we want it to, the one problem is that everything on the board is currently vulnerable to group shot, and you need exactly 8 mana if you want to have rally and overwhelm.
Yeah, you might be right, and we might get that here, because I don't think, if we continue to wait, I'm not sure Alan actually picks up this game. We are at 8 as well, and this is one of the scary parts about these tree decks, right? Yeah, sure, you can win with tree, but you also have to worry about just getting beaten down slowly but surely by all of these, you know, dinky little units on board. But group shot gonna take care of any gifts from Renekton coming back out, and Sivir leveling up here.
You really leaned into the chat meme, huh? You're really gonna.
Yeah, I figured I'd throw it out there.
The
You
gift
know,
from Renekton.
honestly, I
Throw it
haven't.
out one time. Give the people what they want.
Listen, I haven't used it really in cast, so I figure, you know, as a, you know, tribute to Merciless Hunter being nerfed, I'll get it out there at least one time, right? Oh, okay. See, the problem with this rally is I would have liked to have seen the Absolver first to get like the additional damage off, right?
Can't do that. You have to wait until Sivir's leveled.
Oh, okay. I see. Well, to give everything else overwhelm, does giving everything?
You don't get the second half of the spell unless you have a leveled champion.
Oh, I always forget about that with Absolver. Okay.
Yeah, that's a really important thing there.
Yeah. Yep. I guess I just kind of assume that we're getting that second part of the effect whenever I see the card in hand.
Yeah. But now we're going to get the Sandstone Charger thanks to the Warlord's Palace going for an attack and say, hey, you have to line up some blocks. And once you do, I'll see if I want to utilize this Absolver and Absolver returns or if there's other things that I want to do. And with everything having Spell Shield, I got to say,
this lethal?
This might just be lethal.
Yeah, plus we have, or no, we don't have enough for Absolver's Return, and Shape Stone, though. This is going to be... Well, I don't know. We might. Hold on. Was that 8? Oh, yeah. We needed the Shape Stone.
But it is clearing out 101 on this board. It's pushing your opponent down to 1 HP. There's no shrooms in their deck, unfortunately. But I don't think that 101 or 103 is going to... Yeah, the Bandle Tree comes down at 8. Unless we've got one of the regions in hand, we're not pulling out a win here.
Well, even if... Well, yeah, we'd have to play both this turn.
Yeah, we'd have to play whatever we got off the tree as well as whatever the 10th region is. And Bandle Tree, you know, it can give you those expensive units. More than a few players have lost the game because units that were too expensive came out of the tree, be it 7 mana, 10 mana, whatever you need.
I did also see, on the flip side, Fresh Lobster, I think, during the Beyond the Bandlewood event, pulling a 1-drop, like 5 back-to-back turns. So there is the opportunity to get the cheaper ones as well. We'll just throw that one out there.
Now, if 101-113 can just go wide enough, you know, the Absolver return is already used. There's no Ruin Runner in the hand of Alan. You would actually struggle to end the game, but we're going to start off with a Hidden Pathways, which only leaves us with 6 mana to try and find... Okay, that's region 9.
Effort. Do we have a 4-cost or less region in hand?
And
that's it.
Shadow Isle.
There it is. Oh my God, Bandle Tree just coming in again.
Giving the Shadow Isle.
Wow.
Bilgewater.
Wow.
Having the Bilgewater unit available. And yet that's, you know, there you go. That's Bandle Tree, baby.
Wow. Bandle Tree just putting in work, Boulevard. We've seen it.
I gotta say.
So much already.
If you've seen us cast before, you've very likely heard me complain about Star Spring's lackluster animation.
Yeah.
Bandle Tree has the animation that I want out of a landmark finish.
You don't like Star Spring? You got complaints about Star Spring animation?
It's like a Teemo level up, right?
It's almost like if they just like zoomed out a little bit on the animation. Like I even feel like
I know like in my head I know exactly what I want the Star Spring finisher to look like, and it's not there.
Not it. That ain't it.
I want it to like play an animation of like, you know, a hot spring and a waterfall, and like all the little Bilgewater crabs are like partying in the hot spring or something, and then the game ends.
So Scathus in chat, amazing question. So again, for anybody just joining us, the way that these qualifiers work for this kind of top 64 bracket that we have here, it is a double elimination bracket. So the loser, this is the very first round today. The loser of this round is going to go into the loser's bracket, and then they cannot lose another game. They have to win out for the remainder of the tournament to be able to qualify for the top cut. The winner's bracket, I think, if I'm thinking of this correctly, Boulevard, if they go 4-0, I think they automatically get in, or they might have to play one game tomorrow.
That's only true for Americas because we get 6 qualified players instead of 5.
I think you're right.
Which does throw things off a little bit. I'm not going to sit here and pretend to know, but what we do know is when the tournament will end for day 1, which the bracket literally says it at the top. Once we get into round 4 best of 3, round 4 of the winner's bracket, that's when the tournament will end for the day. And at round 5, actually at round 6 is like so you have to go 6-0 through the winner's bracket.
6-0. It's 6-0. Yeah. Okay.
It throws off the numbers a lot when you even change one person that qualifies. It's a little bit weird, but got a game on our hands here, Doza.
Oh yeah, we get to see Sivir again. And wait, is that a Dredgers I see on board?
Yes, it is.
Was that randomly generated somehow?
It was. It was randomly generated by
Okay.
Double Trouble. We're going for the mythical, magical level 4 Nami level.
I just got really concerned that somebody was playing deep in Worlds here.
Whoa! I like how you didn't question the Shadow Isle unit right next to it. Like, oh yeah, they definitely play that.
Well,
deep.
I've seen
you
that.
Vile piece my unit and make a 3/3 fearsome. What a good call, Doza. I can see why you're on the casting desk with me.
I've seen that before. People play that and go hard, right? So, but here's the Nami level up. And like you mentioned, you know, a lot of times not even seeing Nami come down on level. She just comes down level 2 right away. No great way. I mean, we do have the Cataclysm, actually. We have Cataclysm to get Nami off the board ASAP. So we'll see if Alan eventually goes for that after the attack here. Maybe try to bait some sort of response out from 101 here. Yeah, there we go. There's the new tech Boulevard. Nami Deep. That's gonna be the new deck. You wait. It's gonna win Worlds. You got this.
Bet.
Just bet.
I put down $10,000 that you're wrong. And Nami Deep does not win Worlds. Lock it in.
I like those odds. I like those odds. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so actually not gonna go ahead and go with the Cataclysm here. So Nami gonna stick around, and this does mean we're gonna start to get these effects triggering from Nami. +2, +1. Things could get out of hand. Now we're gonna go with the Cataclysm. All right, so we got one buff off.
Yep.
And this should take down Nami. I can't think of too many things through a spell shield as well. Unless we can buff up Nami's health somehow.
We do play cards like Sunblessed Vigor and Pale Cascade. Pretty unlikely that we're going to be able to survive through a Sharp Sight and a Shapestone. Yeah, just not even trying to protect it. And here comes Fleet Admiral Shelley, sort of the Nami number 2. Newer card, 5-mana 3/3 with a tune. And when you play 2 spells, gives everything else +1/+1.
I will say, on Mobilytics, it is named Starfish. So,
that's what it's worth. To call it, so I guess this is Starfish for the day.
For what it's worth.
I guess we can call it Starfish.
But the real question for 101 Starfish here is, Fleet Admiral Shelley, are you going to appear on time? And the answer here is yes. The Admiral has arrived. And this card, once it hits the field, man, this is where this deck really starts to take off. So for anybody not familiar with this new card.
I already explained what it did.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
You suck at listening.
No, you didn't. You totally didn't.
You're a bad listener.
Don't listen to me.
I can't believe you.
I'm going to say it anyways.
I could legitimately explain it. I will say that. I'm not lying to you. I don't want to rob
Yeah, well, I would also expect you to mess with me too. It gives +1/+1 to everything every 2 spells you play. All right, I'm going to say it anyways. I'm saying it again because I want it. It's that important of a card. All right. And pretty big attack.
Situation for 101 103 though. You don't really want to be blocking with these Sparkle Flies. Yes, you have this nice little 3/3 that you don't care about. In fact, you'd almost like to get it off the field so that if Nami does come around, it's not mucking up your elusive pools. But there's got to be a second spell, right? Something to make these value trades good for 101 103.
Yeah, right now.
And there it is.
11 damage coming in though. We are going to get a little bit of heal from the Sparkle Fly as well. So that's going to feel nice.
So we do have a unit that's living at 1 HP, and we did just steal a Cataclysm.
Oh, wow. We are going,
we're going for an early level on the Sivir. And that's actually lethal.
Wow, yeah. That is a lot of damage incoming now. Because actually, yeah, this lifesteal going to happen last. And yeah, this is just going to be lethal. Alan's got it. Wow, good call on the side of Alan, knowing... All right, this is my shot. 101 at 2 mana. I'm going to go all in on this Sivir, and the lifesteal coming in just a little bit too late. 101 getting punished for that block all the way to the right there. And Alan, going to tie it up, bring it to a game 3 here in the first round of this double elimination Worlds Qualifiers bracket. Fleet Admiral Shelley just not coming through there.
We've already got a Starfish Mirror. Have you heard about the Starfish Mirrors?
Oh, man.
The worst case scenario, both from a playing and a casting perspective, is if both of them get their elusives, they get their Namis online, and then they just start Spell Thief training each other and stealing Spell Thief off Spell Thief consistently and just fire off as many 1-mana spells as humanly possible.
Well, what I will say is Alanzq has the important advantage here.
It's got the Zoe skin.
Bingo.
Well,
This is why we
all
cast
right,
together,
so
Boulevard.
technically, I saw someone in chat earlier mention that they haven't seen this board before. So on the Worlds client, everything is unlocked. You can run a totally prismatic deck. You can run any board, card back, whatever that you want. So 101, 103 just elected to put in the earth, and that's it. Alan went all out.
So actively decided to not go with a board change. So
Actively
that's what that
said,
means.
I want to play base.
Base board. That's totally. You know what? I like it. I can appreciate it. All right. I can appreciate the decision from 101.
Alan does not look happy at the lack of Nami in hand.
No, that's a lot of spells.
I don't blame him. Nami is a very important card. We're probably looking for a messenger here. Instead, we find Equinox. Not a bad hit either. We are going to go for the Moon Silver. It looks like a great combo card with the Nami, but I know that Equinox is also an important thing, taking the elusive off of a lot of units. And looks like we're going to go for Make It Rain, negated by a Pale Cascade. Do we have the Line 'em Up follow-up?
Yeah, and we kind of, okay, that's really good for Alan, because I was going to say, we kind of forced into saving this Zoe here with it being one of the only units. I think that Moon Silver might actually have Shelly's name written all over it. I mean, turn 4, we don't really have another good unit play. I don't feel like Burblefish is that great. And just as I say that, Nami has arrived. Nami has arrived. So not leveled yet, though. Only 2 out of 7. And Nami also on the board for 101. So that's a huge pickup for Alan. Not having that Nami early and your opponent having it would have been pretty bad, leading to probably an eventual loss for Alan here. But we got another super cool star chart, another Moon Silver. Really going to go in here on trying to get as many units, as many cards down as possible.
Now, we didn't get a chance to take a look at the deck lists, but from 2 days ago, what we saw on Ladder, the universal standard was 1 copy of Hush.
Yep.
I wouldn't be too surprised to see 2 copies, knowing that the Starfish Mirror is something that realistically you could run into. But I'd be very surprised if anybody's running all 3.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So Hush not going to be like the biggest consideration in the world when we start to get into these elusive wars.
Great mana management there from Alan as well. I mean, one of the keys to this deck is really knowing what to play, when to play, certain spells to utilize your spell mana so that your regular mana banks into your spell mana so you can get that level up on Nami. So the last 2 turns actually really crucial there to make sure that we could level up Nami on turn 5 here. And again, 101 doesn't yet have that level up on Nami. So that's a big deal. If Alan can put enough pressure on 101 to get 101 to use some of that mana that we have, not banking any more spell mana is going to continue to prevent that level up on the side of 101's Nami. So we'll see how this goes here. We are trying to kill this Zoe. It looks like it's going to go through. That is a good hit. Wow, we got the keg.
Yeah. We missed the Nami, so we don't get to take the potential kill onto the Nami with the line 'em up. Very slim chances that it would work out anyway, but actually not going to get the kill onto the Butterfly either.
Wow.
As here comes Sun Blessed Vigor. But the Zoe is going to survive critically.
Yeah, I think that's super crucial here. Again, ever since we drew this Zoe early on, this is kind of the unit where we were forced to pillar on just because we didn't have a whole lot else. We do have this Wiggly Burblefish in hand, which, we probably could get down this turn, honestly, just because it is 0 cost. We are putting some pressure on. Like I mentioned, you probably don't want 101 to be able to bank that 3 spell mana if possible. There's a Sparkle Fly. You can see the pressure. I think, is Nami 1 away from leveling? Does this 1 mana still level 101's Nami?
Probably. Looks like we're just going to get a pass out of Alan, so we'll find out in a second here. But, Alan's Zoe, rather, is kind of on track to level here, which isn't irrelevant in this matchup because you do still play things like Double Trouble, and giving those units elusive is pretty impactful to be able to utilize as chump blockers a little later on down the road, or just have a wider board than your opponent, especially since you already do have that Fleet Admiral Shelly.
Okay, so the Zap Spray from Attune is actually going to be what does it there. So still being able to level the Nami. A little bit behind Alan here. I don't know how much that's going to matter just because we haven't really utilized Nami's effect too much yet on the side of Alan. But we have the Shelly before 101 as well. So this is another crucial card. You get Nami down, you get Shelly down, you have both those units on board, and suddenly your board's going to get out of control.
And Zap Sprayfin, actually not something that is in 100% of these lists. A lot of the decks that I've seen more recently, at least from the America side, were just your 2 champions, your Sparkle Flies, your Shelly, and your Burble Fishes, and that was it. Zap usually felt like an awkward mana commitment for a lot of players. You kind of play like a combo deck, right? You get your stuff established, and then you only want to be playing like 1 mana cards that do things.
Yep.
And it looks like we actually might have found an opportunity to even go for a Calibrum, maybe a Crescendum, maybe get the lifesteal over to everything, get out that Sparklefly.
There's that Zoe level, though. I gotta say, Boulevard, I'm liking Alan's odds here. Getting the Crescendum as well. Actually, I think Alan just picked Severum, if I saw that correctly.
Yeah, but that doesn't do anything.
No, it's gonna... Wow, okay.
What did you think?
All right, never mind. I saw picking Severum, and then I saw the lifesteal appear on board, and I'm like, wait a second, what does this card do again?
If you pick Severum, your whole board
gets it.
Zoe reaches up into the stack, grabs the gun out, and says, "Here, everyone, take one of these." But now every unit on Alan's field is a Sparklefly.
Yeah, thanks to Sparklefly and Zoe's level 2 effect, things are looking pretty good. We still aren't really safe to attack yet because the things aren't, everything on Alan's board isn't buffed up quite enough. And this is going to be unfortunate, losing this Shelly. There's really nothing we can do about it here. We don't even have the mana to...
We do with
yes!
We do this.
Yep, that's 2 spells. That's 2 spells.
That's going to get the buff on over to the Shelly, which will at least allow it to trade with the Sparklefly. And, not the best hits. Line them up. Probably your best one, since it does give you 2 procs of the Nami, and can probably take out one of these weaker units. There's not a lot of cards in 1010103's hand, and they've got a pretty wide board with just the Nami available, so you can probably pick off this Burblefish.
Yeah, and I do we can start going in now, right? I mean, all of these units are going to trade quite well with 1010103's board. And yeah, this is a really good attack for Alan. We're going to get some lifesteal. It doesn't really matter because we're at 20. No. And here's the Spell Thief War. Here's the Spell Thief War.
Spell Thief. How many times can we do it?
Yeah, here it comes. We'll see what 101 decides to pick here. But this is a lot of incoming damage.
They might not have found the Spell Thief. Alan has played a lot of spells this game.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh, here we go. All right, so things are starting to look better for 101. Maybe we can get these units up within trading range. And this was kind of the risk of attacking, right? Even though on board, it seems like we have good trades with all of our units, if a bunch of spells are played, this Nami effect, this level 2 Nami, is going to start giving +2/+1 to everything. And now suddenly everything's going to trade with your board when it all seemed good. So yeah, it looks like we do have enough spells here. We're actually going to hush the Zoe. That's a really impactful hush.
Actually, I'm a little surprised we didn't take the Hush onto the Nami to guarantee the kill onto it through a Sunblessed Vigor, because now the Sunblessed is going to save this Nami, right? That's only 6 attack on the Burblefish.
Yeah, this does even out the board a lot more. And Alan, it doesn't look like, can get rid of this Nami this turn. So this is still very much both players' game at any point.
This looks really good for Alan, actually.
Yeah, it was just 12 incoming damage. I mean, Alan still 100% has, the board control here. We have, 1 extra card in hand as well.
We stole a Moonsilver.
Oh. That's going to save the Sparklefly. Okay.
Well, I mean, we only have to play 1 more spell on the side of Alan to negate that, right?
I mean, all of these are... I guess you just kind of play the salvage here. I mean, there's no reason not to.
Well, your opponent did just play a Moonsilver, so if you're worried about that 1 additional spell coming out, whatever it may be, but we get a Spell Thief of our own, so it's all good, baby.
All right, so still going to have that damage coming through. Sparklefly is going to go down thanks to that salvage being played and Nami's effect. And I think we are still back to a state where Alan is slightly in the lead here, but, both players still having Nami on board. If 101 top decks something like a Shelly, or just has it in hand for the whole time, all the way to the right there, this is going to be pretty big. Now, it's really going to depend on how many spells 101 can find.
Oh, it looks like we actually went for Calibrum.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and kill the Shelly.
Let's see if we got the protection.
Works out probably less than half of the time, but
there
it's going to work out this time, and 1010103 is going to fall to Alanzq here in the first round.